Hi, my name is Evan and I'm officially 2 years post-op surgery. I had surgery on the 15th of February 2024 with Dr. Miles Berry. Today I'm going to talk about my results and a bit about how I prepared for surgery, what I expected, what actually happened, and discuss some common questions that I've been asked about it. I'm also going to show my results and show some comparisons to when I first got my surgery compared to how it's healed now. Now, top surgery is expensive. It's not very common that people can get it done on the NHS in the UK. The waiting lists are extremely long, so people are forced to go private a lot of the time if they want surgery quick. I fundraised for about 4 to 6 months for my surgery and I paid the rest off myself with some help from my family. I worked as much overtime as I could, I took some photography freelance jobs in the meantime. I basically put blood, sweat and tears into being able to afford this surgery. My final amount cost about £10,010, roughly along that line. But I know that Miles offers different prices for different lengths of surgeries. And this was 2 years ago, so it could definitely be a lot more now. Long story short, I paid 10 grand. It could have been at least 14, but luckily it wasn't. I knew I wanted to go to Miles for surgery since about 2017. I'd seen his results online before from a few trans guys that I know, and I was just amazed. His lines are so perfect, the ratio is amazing. I knew I wanted to see him. So I did my research into what it would cost on average, which to my surprise it was about 10 grand. I was pretty on the nail with that. And I emailed him asking for a consultation in January of 2024. Within about a week he'd responded already, telling me that I was eligible for a consultation, and so I went to London to go see him. When I got there, he spoke to me a little bit about my mental health, what I did for work, my relationships, my family, and just a general get to know me kind of thing. And then he popped me up on a hospital bed that's in his office, told me to get my kit off and have a look. I wasn't eligible for keyhole surgery, so I chose double incision because that's just what worked best with my chest size. It seems like he can be quite blunt when he's telling you things, but honestly, he's just doing his job and making sure that the surgery that you get is the right type for you, and also to make sure that his results look perfect to him as well, as this is kind of like an art form, I suppose. Maybe. After that, we went through some forms. He told me about the process and what I'd have to go through in regards to the surgery, such as anaesthetic, overnight care, and also the post-op binding. I said okay, I signed some forms, I went home, and I waited to hear back for a date. I was shocked at how quick I was able to get a date for top surgery. I thought it was going to take months, I thought it was going to be a dreadful time, I thought I was going to be so unhappy with myself for more months, but genuinely the turnaround was so quick that by the end of January I had a date for 2 weeks' time. And obviously I took it. I knew it was the right time for me. I'd managed to save enough money with help from family, friends, and also donations from people I didn't even know. I 100% recommend fundraising for surgery if you can. It's a massive weight lifted off of your shoulders and you'll be surprised about how many people see fundraisers online and donate to them just because. I'm now going to really awkwardly stand in front of my camera and be naked for a minute so you guys can see my results. These are my results now. They're pretty good. I'm very, very happy with them. I've obviously gotten a few tattoos since, but I couldn't be more over the moon with them. Everything about it is just perfect. My scars have healed fantastically as well. I used bio oil and I massaged every day, and I also made sure to keep them out of the sun as much as I could. This is my chest now compared to the binder that I used to wear every single day of my life. You can see how tiny it is and how uncomfortable it is and how free I am now. Miles is known for his super thin scars. I had some stretching underneath my nipples for a while, but that was about it. Everywhere else is pretty much just thin white lines now. I had double incision with nipple grafts. I don't really know what else to say. I don't really understand how I've ended up naked on my channel so quickly. My scars start just under my armpit and come around right to the middle around here where my spider sits on top of. That's the same for this side as well. All the way around to there. Which you can barely see anymore, which is amazing. One question I've been asked before is how my GP reacted to me getting private care. They were okay. I obviously had to go and have a bunch of tests done before I could sit in a surgical setting. This included blood monitoring and MRSA swabs. So I went to see them, they asked me what I was getting them for. I explained to them that I was having surgery privately, and they couldn't really do anything about that. It was my choice at the end of the day. I didn't even see my GP after my surgery until about a month later or so, and that was when I was having my routine T-jab. But I had no issues with them, they were okay. They did my tests just as they were supposed to. and everything came back okay. Some pros to going to Miles with surgery is that he uses dissolvable stitches, so I didn't have to go and see him after my surgery until 6 weeks and 1 year. And even then I was able to do those appointments over the phone as I was away, which was very, very helpful for me. I had no drains at all, which is something I was super worried about before I got top surgery, but he uses drainless techniques, which kind of lowered my anxiety throughout the whole healing process because I wasn't dreading having to go back and have them pulled out. And overall the pain was probably like, I'd say like a 4 out of 10. I was given codeine as a painkiller and I never even took it. I managed to get by with just taking paracetamol for the entire 6 weeks that I was healing. Also, the care that I had in the actual hospital was top notch. I couldn't fault them for anything. I had a 24-hour call button and nurses were there within minutes of pressing it. No one was rude, everyone was super, super friendly. They had good food, good drinks, and just overall a warm and welcoming invite. My results are as perfect as I always imagined them to be, with a huge thanks to Miles, of course, and also a thanks to my body for healing quickly all the time, no matter what it is. Cons of surgery is obviously being out of work for a super long time for me. I'm a very work-driven person, so being out of work for 6 weeks was quite dreadful. And once I went back, I still had to be super careful of my scars, making sure that nothing was stretching or pulling, because I wanted to obtain the best results I possibly could. Another big con was the post-op binder. I had to wear this post-op binder for 6 weeks as I healed, for 23 hours, 7 days a week. I was able to take it off for an hour for a shower and a clean, but other than that, it had to stay on as I slept, as I ate, as I drank, everything. That was probably the most uncomfortable part of surgery for me. Not knowing what my chest looked like underneath that binder every day really got to me. So for that hour that I was able to take it off, I made sure I made every last minute of it count. I'd take photos of it, I'd stare at it in the mirror, I'd get my mum to look at it, I'd get my girlfriend to look at it, I'd just show my body off to everyone I possibly could for that 1 hour of the day. I think another con that I had that not a lot of people talk about when it comes to surgery is seeing your chest as it's very freshly post-op. I think there was a lot of swelling when it came to my chest. Not as much as you'd think, but swelling across like the scar and the nipple area made my chest seem really different to what it is now. I remember looking back on photos of it once I was put in my post-op binder and not liking my chest for a while. So for the 6 weeks after that, I was making sure I was taking proper care of my scars, I was keeping an eye on swelling, and if I ever had any doubts, Mars Surgery was available 24/7 for me to message them and make sure that everything was okay. They accepted photos over email, so I was able to send pictures of my results and have a nurse email me back within an hour. At least. Sleeping was obviously uncomfortable as well, but I had a lovely girlfriend take care of me and made sure I wasn't rolling over in the middle of the night like I did multiple times. She'd prop me back up. I had a pillow that kind of went like in a triangular shape that kind of props you up a little bit. That helped. I really, really recommend anyone getting surgery one of those pillows. It feels so much better than lying flat on your back. You can sit up comfortably in the middle of the night and grab a drink if you need to. Wish I still had it now, to be honest. I have absolutely no regrets of my surgery whatsoever. My care was top notch and I've been in contact with Miles even since. He shared photos of my results online and I've had great feedback from multiple people. My results are perfect for my body type and exactly how he told me they would be. And overall, the procedure was okay. I'm super petrified of needles, so going under anaesthetic really freaked me out for a minute, but I really just can't fault any of the nurses that took care of me there. They were all so amazing and really put me at ease. Like, I walked in, we sat down for an hour with my family in the room as I waited to go in for surgery. They popped their head in, told me that it was ready, and I was so calm. I didn't think I was going to be like that, but it was all thanks to the nurses over at Mars Surgery. And last but not least, it was 100% worth the money. I think top surgery is a hard one. I know a lot of people that have gone abroad and have amazing results for a lot cheaper than I got, but I wasn't prepared to travel that far for surgery. And also knowing that I wanted Mars as my surgeon my entire life, pretty much, as far as I was thinking about top surgery, I was prepared to spend more money than a lot of other people probably would. Some key points: I paid 10 grand for my surgery, I had an overnight stay, I was given medications and post-op binders by Miles, I had 6 weeks in a post-op binder for 23 hours, 7 days a week, I then had a review after that, and then I had a 1-year review after that. Other than that, I wore my scar tape, I used bio oil, I massaged, and I did everything I could to obtain the best results. If anyone has any questions about top surgery, I'd love to hear them. I know I'm still pretty fresh to it, only 2 years, and a lot of people have more experience when it comes to stuff like top surgery abroad, but I still love to answer any questions anyone has about Miles himself, coming from someone that's seen him and met him personally. So if you have any, feel free to message me on my Instagram, which will be up on the screen, or leave a comment below and I'll reply to that instead. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed seeing my nipples on the internet forever now. Thank you guys. Bye.